Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Races Driving League with Season 16. Round number 4 of the season, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at the Baku City Circuit. I'm your host, RC. Alongside me once again is returning Daniel Aaron. Dan, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you, Zach. Excited to be here again. Yeah, it should be a good race here at Baku. Probably, well, the fastest street circuit of the season, except for Las Vegas, which comes later. But yeah, it should be fun.
Should be an absolute blast. But hopefully this season's edition gives us the right kind of action instead of last season's spectacle. Of course, the race getting red flag postponed and then brought along to next week, which was also chaotic in itself. Websy taking his first victory of the season, and of course that kick-started his run to second in the championship. Websy, is he in the race tonight? He is in the Haas. Of course, fourth start for them. Sits 10th place in the standings with 3 points to his name. 10 times that, it will be the other Ferrari of Orion Nicholas, who comes out the track on intermediate tyres, but currently leads the Drivers' Championship with a perfect start, 3 wins from 3. So 30 points to his name, putting him 12 in front of Landlord as we go into round 4.
Yeah, already a race ahead, and this is only round 4 of the season. It's not looking good for the rest of the drivers, but I mean, he got that gap in 3 races, and there's 20 races to go, so plenty of opportunities for that gap to come down.
Without doubt. Now, speaking of the Ferraris, I'm looking down at Nicholas's teammate Imri, who's on his outlap. Would you be so kind as to take us on a lap of the Baku City Circuit once he makes it around?
I can absolutely try. He's now coming into the last corner before the start-finish line. He's on the soft tyres at the moment. Opens the DRS. Already used a bit of ERS on the run down into turn 1. You want to get your braking zone absolutely right down here. It's actually a lot tighter than you think. Runs it nicely onto the curb. Now into turn 2 as well. Again, that inside curb can be quite aggressive. He avoids it very well. Very nice line and very nice exit down this DRS straight. And again, you can get lost quite easily around this circuit, so just make sure you're braking absolutely fine. There we go. And again, these curbs are aggressive, and we've seen Imri really being quite cautious quite early in the qualifying session. I don't think he wants to push it too much. And into sector 2. Now into probably the tightest section of the circuit, the castle section. I think also probably everyone's favourite, to be honest, is we make this lovely run uphill, quick right or left, and into the final left-hander for a nice run back down the hill. Always going left. It's really fast, and again can be quite easy to lose your braking zone. Nice and sharp left downhill, easy to run wide there. Imri keeps it out of the wall into sector 3 and the last braking zone of the lap. Very nice exit. It's all about this run through this quick left right. You don't want to mess it up, which Imri keeps it nice and tidy. Flat through the rest of the lap. Make sure your ERS is in check. And the long wait before the finish line is Ethan right now goes top with a 41.6, and Imri beats that with a 39.8. A very, very good lap from the Ferrari there.
Not bad at all. PJ Keller slots Ethan's teammate slots in second place, 1 minute 41.3 there, but both those two quite a ways off the Ferrari start things off. Of course, Ferrari still leading the Constructors' Championship as well. I'm looking at the weather here, Dan. Just looking at the sky over the circuit, and it's looking obviously quite different, or not actually. I say different, but not actually too different from last week in Australia. Where, of course, we had a bit of a shower during that Grand Prix. Of course, you were in at the race last week. How did you find the wet weather? And do you reckon we'll see more of that today?
I did not enjoy the wet weather last week. It's been a long time since I've driven in the rain on this game. Obviously, it didn't go well for me. I think lap 3 or 5, I can't remember. I obviously crashed out. But I mean, I don't think we'll see any straight away. Nicholas out on the intermediates right now. If there was rain coming straight away, I think we would have seen him out on the softs or mediums, as we've got more competitive laps coming in.
Indeed we do. The 2 Red Bulls in particular, the ones to look at. Slazenger goes second, Grovey third. It's just sort of filling that gap right there. So Slazenger about half second off of Imri's pole time, Grovey about 10th and a half off of Slazenger. So it's close to the top as Grumio goes fastest there, 1 minute 39.7. and I see Imri on his way into. Sorry, that's not Imri. That is Nicholas into the pits now. So he's done his I think his warm-up lap on the intermediates, and I see JB going P5 in the Aston Martin. Good start for him there. Of course, qualifying gets more and more crucial, as you mentioned so far this season, especially with the change in the point system for under the top 8 scoring. As it's down to enough, have a quick look at the standings down here on my right monitor. We've had 12 scorers in the first 3 races. Of course, that includes obviously drivers such as, of course, Che, Websy, Shane. Those guys have all scored points. Shane in particular with a very good finish last time out, came home 7th in Australia, which of course was a very chaotic race. Dan, I know you know all too well how chaotic it was last week. But could this be a bit more of a turnaround for Mercedes potentially?
Well, Shane won Driver of the Day midweek for what was definitely probably the best performance from the Mercedes, leaving now only, I believe it's 2 teams without points in Aston Martin and Alpine. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, right. very, very good from Shane last week as he just crossed the wall on his qualifying lap. Obviously, Arsenal fan and Shane, I would say underdogs. I think we probably didn't see the best of Shane last season, and hopefully we see him more towards the top again in this season in the Mercedes.
Have to wait and see if that comes to be true. I think I saw one of our debutants tonight, Red J. Got 2 debutants in the field tonight. I haven't mentioned that. So Red J in the Alpha Tauri and Crovey in the sorry, no, I'm getting pronunciations right. I've been calling him Crovey for a long time. It's Crovey is what we want to be calling him, I think.
Crovey, okay.
Or wait, no, sorry. I'm gonna have to look back at the message I got for this because I've completely forgotten. Because I am not really very smart in terms of remembering things. Okay, Crovey. There we go. Right. So I've been calling him Crovey, but he's called Crovey. So there we go. We got it right at last. So we'll be careful when should the Aston Martin and our Red Bull of Grovey take each other on track potentially later on tonight. But hopefully those two do well in their respective debuts. See Red J coming towards the line now, looking for his the end of his first time lap. But it's validated there. So probably looking at around. I think it might have been some kind of mistake in the caster section. We just picked up about halfway down through the lap. But Crovey on his out lap. This is going to take me ages to adjust to here. This is not going to be a fun night for me at all, if I'm honest. Because I'm terrible with pronunciation. I don't know if you guys ever pick it up, but I'm not fantastic at it. But anyway, we'll move on, and I'll get it right later on in the night. So Grimio's still on pole right now. Imri still second, and Slasinger still remains in 3rd place. But of course, JB and PJ, the highlights, in 5th and 6th. And Shane is there in 7th, looking to try and, hopefully, if he can, improve on that 7th place he scored last time out.
Yeah, we also haven't seen laps yet from Nicholas, Cott and Websy. BJ's only lap has Crovey just hits the inside wall there at turn 3. But as I was saying, BJ's only set a lap on the mediums as well. He's on an out lap on his softs. So there's plenty of fast drivers, plenty of opportunities for this grid to be shaken up just a little bit before we see the checkered flag with 9 minutes to go.
Still plenty of times for things to change, and of course we do have a number of major players who are not in the rest, in particular Landlord and Fan, both of whom are not with us tonight. And having a look here, if I have a look, see what else we're missing here. If I just try have a look through here, see which teams we're missing. I believe we're missing the Haas of Courtney Goblin. We're missing, yes. So that those are cars we won't be seeing tonight. Hopefully we'll see them next week in Miami, which should be a very exciting race in itself as well.
Yeah, so again, quite a few different challenges in the first stretch of the season. We've had Bahrain, the only purpose-built track, straight away as Cott goes up into P3 with a 40.06, a very good lap from the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, very, very different challenges in the first few rounds of this season. As I said, Bahrain purpose-built. Then you go into a really fast, tight, twisty street circuit in Jeddah, then you go to Australia, and then you go into this really long circuit with plenty of heavy braking zones in Baku, and then Miami, which is a bit of everything. So yeah, plenty for these drivers to adapt to, and again, it always sets off the season in a very, very good light, I think.
Do you prefer the street circuits, Dan, or do you prefer the purpose-built stuff?
Um, if as I prefer really good street circuits over really good purpose-built circuits, but if a street circuit is quite mediocre to me, I'd say Baku is, I'd say Miami is, then I'd rather have a mediocre purpose-built track over it.
Fair enough. I'll keep my eye here on our championship leader Nicholas, who's on his way through the second sector now. Of course, this is his first proper time run on the soft tyres, as far as I'm aware. He was out there on the inters earlier, but I'm not sure if he did another lap in the meantime, because I feel like I saw him out on track. Landlord's joined the session, so we're up to 18 drivers now, so Landlord joining slightly later, but we're going to have him in for a bit of action, and he'll be able to give the two Ferraris and also his teammate in the Williams a bit more of a fight, hopefully. So that give us a couple more cars, a couple more contenders up at the top. Of course, we still see JB, PJ, and Shane. Those are the guys, the big three right now in terms of upsetting behind the main runners who have been, of course, impressing so far in these first three races. Cott into the pit lane here. Cott with just 8 points in the first 3 rounds, so not a fantastic start, given the especially only a good start, but compared to the returns from when he made his debut last season, perhaps not what he was hoping for. So we hope perhaps tonight could be the one he turns it around. As Nicholas goes 4th fastest there, 1 minute 40.2. That moves him on to the second row, 1 row behind his teammate.
Ooh, I'm just watching PJ there. He just went a bit too late into the castle section, so I think he's maybe lost a bit of time on this lap. Whether he'll improve, we'll have to wait and see. But BJ also set a lap. He goes and jumps JB into P7. And again, the McLarens maybe a slightly disappointing to start to the season. Not exactly as high as we've seen them previously, but BJ carrying the flag for McLaren here today.
Definitely, and hopefully it can potentially get some more points out of it. Of course, from McLaren's first 3 rounds, they sit 4th with constructors, but just 9 points from this season. So BJ with 5 and Fan with 4. That puts them in 7th and 8th, which is again just 4th in the championship. So it's an easy way to look at the Papaya cars situation. BJ leading a little bit of a train here. He's got a Red Bull and an Alfa Romeo behind. That's Grovey in the Alfa Romeo, and it's in the Red Bull, and there's Curtis in the Alfa Romeo, who's on a lap right now. So of course Curtis P12 as it stands, 1 minute 41.8. So still time to improve. I think you want to get both Grovey and BJ out of his way.
Yeah, still waiting to see laps from the debutantes in Red J and Crovey. Both of them are on laps. Red J just coming to the final stretch now. Interesting to see, and I say my famous phrase again, how he gets on. Actually, I think he might be coming into the pits. It's hard to tell from here.
They stay out?
No, yeah, it's staying out, and his first lap, 44.3, goes 15th. But it's good to have a banker. There's definitely time for one more run, I'd imagine. And hopefully I can see more of him throughout the race.
And we'll keep an eye on Crovey as well. 33.3 in his first sector. I'm making mistake after mistake. This is not fantastic from me, but I'll pick it up over the night. Well over the curb there at the left hand. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him with damage here. Looks like the car is okay. He's really using those curbs down. I'm not sure if you're seeing this here. As he comes towards the last sector, he has to make sure to keep himself away from the outside retaining wall here. Of course, very punishing should you hit it, especially at the wrong angle. Courtney Goblin has joined us, so up to 19 cars now. So just missing our defending champion C110P fan. Hopefully we'll see him next week in Miami, which is a race I believe he won last season. The Crowley towards the line, P8 for the Aston Martin, and that puts him in front of JB by half a second. So a good start from the debutant.
Yeah, I mean, compared to the first lap that we were on board with in Imri, who's that's lap still put in P2, who was very smooth, trying to avoid everything. Crowley was really attacking it. So again, I'd say it's quite a competitive lap, just outside of a second of the pole time. But yeah, very interesting to see how the driving styles change from driver to driver, and how everybody is comfortable with maybe different setups or different lines.
And it's always good to see them all coming out at once in qualifying. So as we reach the last few stages now, we're looking at those last few runs. 2.5 minutes still to come in the session. Imri, I assume, going for his last lap now. He's on his out lap now. Cott has rejoined the track, as has Nicholas. Grimio's still in the pit lane. I don't think we actually sent him out since his first run, so I'm assuming he's waiting to go one more here. I mean, I suppose he must consider himself in a good position because, of course, he's always in contention for pole. Is Grimio, of course, 6-time champion of the series, record holder in terms of most poles over a single season. I'm not sure if that can even be broken at this point, given we've had a number of different pole systems as far as I can remember, but I'm not going to list them off because I don't remember, because I'm terrible at that sort of thing. But regardless, he always cooks in qualifying, does Grimio. And right now we're seeing more of the same as he emerges onto the track, but behind a bit of a train here, so he's going to try and find himself a bit of room. And it's a good thing he's got himself out there with a minute or two to go for the end of qualifying, because that gives him some time to find that space before the checkered flag. It's going to be close though.
Yeah, 3 different pole sitters in the first 3 races. Grumio being one of them. I'm just on board with JB here. He's 4 tenths up going into sector 3, so could put him a lot closer to his temporary teammate in Crovey, stepping in for Lucky Lambert. Again, we see JB always run a bit earlier than everyone else, maybe just try and give himself a bit of clean air. Will it work for him today? We'll have to see as he comes across the line to set his lap, and he does go only 0.02 of a second quicker than Crovey. I'm not sure who's next to start their lap or who's next to cross the line. It's quite hard to see on this map at the moment.
That'll be Nicholas here, going towards the line. The championship leader starting. He'll be his final effort as he enters the last minute of qualifying. There's a number of cars in quite a big train behind, so these guys are just trying to find space for each other here. But I wonder if all of them will actually make it to the line in one piece, or if they'll actually make it to the line to start their last laps. I'm seeing Red J, and I'm seeing one of the Williams cars in front. That would be Landlord on his first, and what will be only lap of the session. Red J into the pits, so I think he's calling qualifying there. 1 minute 44 in the end, his best effort. I'm sure he will be too happy with that, but he's got plenty of time to turn it around in the race. Arsenal fan has crashed, I think, at the left-hander down towards the end of the second. And Groby's out as well. Groby retiring in the pit lane. P6 with the best you can hope for.
Imri is 3 tenths up, heading to the finish line now. Will Imri be able to get first pole of the season for Ferrari? We'll have to see as the laps start coming in.
Did by 3 tenths.
There we go.
Let's keep an eye here on the next cars. I believe we just saw Shane cross the line there. So he sits in P10. Next car through will be JB, who's slow. So that means we bring it over to Nicholas, who's almost 4 tenths up. He still needs. He'd need 2 more. So no, you need another 6, I think, to try and knock pole position. But if he can take about half a second or so in this last part, then he should be able to potentially get it on the front row. Could Ferrari lock it out? I doubt it, but we'll see how much he gains here as he comes towards the start-finish line. Give me 139, I think. Yes, he does! 2,000 of a second again. And Gruer's not improving here at the end of Sector 1. We'll keep an eye on him here.
Yeah.
JB
is across the start-finish line. See how he goes.
P2.
Up to P2. Times are tumbling here in Baku.
Grumio's not improving here, so he's a 10th down. So I'd imagine a chance at pole could be over for him. Slicing towards the line, the Red Bull. The Ferraris now from Ares have cooked here. Slicing over the line, so someone move up. Slicing just P6. Yeah. Grumio retiring the session.
Landlord's better lap up to P5.
Ah, okay.
That was it.
BJ over the line here. Holds it in P8, and Ethan will be the last car through. So that's Imri on pole by 3 tenths, with Cott in second and Nicholas in third.
It's quite a dominant lap here from Imri. I think that might be the closest or the furthest away. I'm just having a look through the previous pole times. I mean, all the rest have been within a tenth, so to be almost 3 tenths clear of pole is quite unheard of this season in RDL. So a very, very good lap from the Ferrari, taking his first pole of the season.
And that'll give him a clean run on that very short run to the first corner. But he'll have Cott on the outside. We've seen Cott be good on the start as well. But Imri, of course, quite good at the start himself. So we could be in for a right treat going to turn 1. Hopefully everyone keeps their cool. Only Lycon and Courtney Goblin did not set times in that session. So the AlphaTauri has to start on the back foot for the race in a few minutes' time. Run through order then. Imri on pole with Cott in second, Nicholas in third, Grumio takes fourth in the end by just misses out on P3 by 2,000 of a second again, another small gap there. Landlord in fifth, Slazenger sixth, Grovey seventh, BJ eighth, JB in ninth, and Crovey narrowly misses out on beating his teammate, but could be on for a fantastic debut. Potentially some points on the cards, you never know. Shane P11, PJ in P12, Curtis P13, Ethan P14, and it's Websy, Arsenal Red J, Lycon, and Cottony Goblin. And Grovey's just told me as fate would have it, not too far away from Crovey on the racetrack, so we could be in for some pronunciation trouble, me and you, Dan, over the course of the race. But we'll wait to see if that happens. Tune in a few minutes' time to find out who emerges on top in what should be a very exciting Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, round number 4 of the Championship of the Racers Driving League in Season 16, and we should be in for another absolute banger of a Grand Prix. Again, myself, Zach RC, and my good friend Daniel Aaron alongside us in the commentary box, and we should be in, as I say, for a banger. Dan, of course, this race last season was chaotic. Of course, but perhaps shouldn't be the case today. Sunny skies over the Baku City circuit, a bit different to the cloudiness we saw in qualifying, so we should be in for a good race. Give me your thoughts.
Well, hopefully it goes better than the first attempt last season. The second attempt was a lot better. But again, some of the driving standards in that second race were a bit scruffy. There was a big crash, particularly between a couple of the fast guys. But it's Baku. A lot of things happen here that usually don't at other circuits. So yeah, it should be a fun race to watch.
Definitely, and of course we've got 19 cars in the field, only missing our reigning champion today, C110P fan, who I believe got caught up in that aforementioned crash towards the end of last season's race, which led to Websy coming home with the victory. Could be a bit tough for him today, but you never know in this league. Today could be a fantastic day for one of our drivers. We just have to wait and see who it is. But of course, Imri on pole, Cott will follow him down to the first corner of Nicholas in third, and we'll be looking to see if anyone can stop Nicholas after he spent the first 2 races doing his best Max Verstappen impression, and hopefully we could see a different winner today. I say hopefully, but of course we're unbiased in this league, but of course as many race winners as possible is preferable to us, and of course the championship fight that goes all the way to the reverse grid finale in about 20 rounds time. So waiting here on the grid, hopefully we get a formation lap this week. I think we are about to get a formation lap. Yes, we are. So here we go. We'll have a look then at the starting lineup from the back of the grid. Starting in P19, Cottony Goblin in the Haas, who, in fairness to him, joined late. So this time he's got a good reason why he didn't set a qualifying lap. Lycon starts P18 again. Also didn't set a time. He'll be starting behind his debuting teammate, Red J, in the Alpha Tower, reserving for Che tonight. Arsenal fan starts in P16 for Mercedes. Of course, Merck had their 30 points on the board, but Arsenal fan didn't score him. He's looking to try and get his own here tonight if he can. 8th place to Yane. Put himself into the points scoring places. Websy won this race last season. He lines up from P15. Be quite an underdog win if he can take it today. We'll have to wait and see how the action treats us on track. Ethan, P14, one of the Alpines there. Of course, Alpine yet to score a point so far in this campaign. Well, 2 teams yet to do so. Hopefully, they can get some points on the board for themselves today. Curtis starts in P13, looking to push Alfa Romeo further up the table. They sit in 5th place right now. A few more points could definitely do them some good. Of course, Curtis did well at this race last season, as far as I remember. So it was good in the early stages of last season. So hopefully you could rediscover that form and get himself pushing for the points once again. PJ in 12th again, one of the Alpines, looking to get some more points on the board. Of course, he did quite well in qualifying. We'll have to keep an eye on him in the race. Shane P11, after scoring his first points for Mercedes this season, last time out in Australia with a 7th place finish. I'm hoping for more of the same today. Grovey makes his debut in the Aston Martin. We're hoping he doesn't get near Grovey in today's race, just to avoid the pronunciation problem there. But starts P10 just behind his teammate JB. 2,000ths of a second separating these two in qualifying. Could be looking at more of the same today. Could be seeing some inter-team battles between the regular and the reserve. BJ starts in P8, the last of the point scorers. 5 points in the opening 3 races. We're hoping for some more today. Grovey lines up P7. Lowest of the usual contenders, if I'm honest. Hopefully, she'll be a bit pushing further forward as she was in Australia last week. Slazenger takes up the outside spot on the 3rd row in P6. Landlord and Grumio start P5 and P4 for Williams. Looking to push on Ferrari in the championship. Nicholas has won the first 3 races of the season, looking for number 4. He'll start from 3rd. Caught fire on the outside of the front row, and our pole sitter is charged off into the distance already. And Imre will be looking to do more of the same when the lights go out. I think he was just trying to get as much temperature on his tyres, so perhaps they don't cool too quickly, because of course you've got to wait a long time there on the front row of the grid. In terms of your starting tyres quickly, everyone looking at the mediums and hards today. The mediums are the tyre of choice for most of the field. 5 drivers, Slazenger, Grovey, BJ, Red J and Courtney Goblin all going for the hards to kick this one off. So as the last few cars take their places now on the grid as we get ready for the start of what should be an excellent Grand Prix. Grimmo's been disqualified. He must have gone too far forward in his grid box. As Lycon and Courtney Goblin take their places. Red J hit as well. Websy hit as well. 3 drivers who have missed out. But everyone's in place now. So here come the lights for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. For the 4th round of the championship. Hit the Baku City circuit. It is lights out, foot to the floor. Go, go, go. We are racing here in Azerbaijan. Imre leads him down towards the first corner. Nicholas trying on the outside for P2 as the Cot. He goes side by side with Cot there. Very close to the barrier. Everyone gets through turn 1. Nice and clean. Cot covers off Nicholas. Grimio to the inside looking for 3rd as they go through turn 2. But Imre's made the lead by 7/10. Fantastic getaway. Everyone looks to have gotten through turn 2. Nice and clean. Here see PJ Khaled on his own making a charge against the 2 Aston Martins and the Mercedes. So Shane looking to take some moves as well. Going to the inside of both Astons here into P9 for the moment, side by side with Grovey. JB has been swapped on the start. He's lost 2 places, but Imre off by like a shot down. He's a second to the good here to complete the first sector of this race.
Yeah, it's a fantastic start from the Ferrari. I thought he might have struggled considering the gap he had at the end of formation lap, but already 1.1 seconds. Nicholas trying to get past Cot as quick as he can so he doesn't lose out to the DRS and end up falling to the Williams behind.
I imagine he will get around Cot as quickly as he can here. Look at them go through the caster section. How intricate you've got to be, how perfect you've got to be. 26 times in a row on that corner to have any chance of even scoring points today, such as the point system. Grovey to the outside now of BJ, looking to make a move. The rookie making a splash on his debut here in the yard, and at this circuit of all places. BJ nips it back in front for the moment, but keep an eye on that Aston Martin down, because we could be in for a stronger of a race from that driver there in the green machine. Keep an eye on him. As you see, PJ Khaled also looking to make a move on JB. Not quite close enough just yet, but look out for these Alpines, because those guys are hungry. They want the points to kick this season off as quickly as possible here. Nicholas making a move on Cot now to the right-hand side of the racetrack and moving in front of the Alfa Romeo as his Ferrari teammate charges down the main straight to complete the first of the 26 laps that make up this Grand Prix. 146.5, the fastest lap to start us off. Nicholas second and Cot in 3rd place.
Yeah, slight mistake on the exit of T1 there from Nicholas, but having a look at all the ERS usage, Imre clearly deciding to try and make a gap straight away. Already used over 60%, just over a lap as well. But yeah, as you said, Grovey, he's on the softer tyres compared to the 3 cars ahead, so he's definitely want to try and get past. As we said, actually see Cot
around.
Yeah, Cot having made a mistake there at turn 3.
It's a bad safety car.
Yeah, VSC try and neutralise the race a bit, but Grumio also involved in that somehow. He's dropped a few places, so he's now see Landlord up to P3 and 3 seconds behind the 2 Ferraris.
I see Grumio's lost his template as well, so perhaps there may be a move there going into turn 3. Of course, we can't comment with it because personally I didn't see it. So I think we may have pulled away from just the wrong time, unfortunately. So apologies there. But I was keeping an eye on Crovey, who was really going for it. I saw him sort of weaving around the distance, trying to get away, trying to get around BJ and fighting Shane if he could. So again, making a start. He's into the points already now, thanks to that instant. That'll move the two Ferraris down 1 and 2 outright, but of course a Landlord 3.5 seconds back. So those guys haven't got too much to worry about. I reckon if they can try and control the pace, they could potentially race each other to check a flag. You never know, as has been the strength of the Ferraris so far this season. But Imrie leads, of course, hasn't been really able to string it together so far. If we're brutally honest with ourselves so far over the course of his career in this league. And Arsenal fan with a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. He's been caught by the Delta there to get back underway. The green flag now back out to the end of lap number 2. And Landor getting right to work here to try and close that gap. BJ and Grumio now being passed by Grumio, who's fighting right back and pulls it into the pit lane. Slows it down very nicely indeed. But he's surprised he didn't get a penalty here. He didn't get a penalty. That was a fantastic entry to the pit lane from Grumio. And PJ joining him as well. Not sure if he's got damage in that Alpine. Let's keep an eye out, see what the situation is for his pit stop. I'm just seeing tyre changes here. He's going on to a fresh set mediums, and I imagine the slow time means he's got wing damage as well. He does have to wait for Cot 5 to get out of his pit box as well. And Cot serving that penalty now. 5 seconds on that add-on to the Alfa Romeo stop for making a change onto hard tyres and a wing change as well. So those guys will be home for a real safety car to get themselves back into the fight. That or banking on that foot, I was making that stop mid-race and then going on these hard tyres to the end. But I'd imagine Grumio and PJ are going to be making a second stop.
Watch Shane on these straights. He's just absolutely roared past Crovey on this lap.
Oh, BJ's. I've got a problem. Oh, BJ's lost his wing.
I'm not sure where exactly that happened. I can't remember it happening with Grumio when he went side by side with Grovey. But yeah, really unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Had a good qualifying, looking good for points, trying to go long in this first stint, but losing front wing just after a VSC as well is especially gutting.
That's a nurse back to the pit lane now to get a change on that. And the gutting thing for him is that he's already on hard tyres, which means he needs to make this race a 2-stop. I'd imagine he was going to try and go as long as he could, then go either mediums or softs to the finish line. So he was hoping for a long first stint, but that's not going to be the case from today. So he makes his way through the chicane here. Of course, I imagine he has to lift a little bit to make it through nice and clean. DRS, I believe, has been deployed now. We're on to lap number 4 of this Grand Prix. I think Red J will get it off of BJ here as they come down this main straight. Yes, he will. And the AlphaTauri on his debut looks to get as much toe as he can from BJ. That was very close to contact. Arsenal fan and BJ both in the pit lane here. We'll keep an eye on the race on the track. Crovey now around Websy as well, fighting with JB. Everyone all over the shop here in terms of position. But Imrie and Nicholas now running nose to tail. The Ferraris 3 seconds to the good here over Landlord in 3rd place.
Yeah, JB just made a mistake into turn 1, passing Crovey. I'm not sure whether he's lost front wing, but he's lost a position to Websy because of it. And now Lycon, who I don't remember setting a lap in qualifying, he's up into 10th.
Yeah, Lycon started P18 in this race. Him and Cottney Goblin didn't set times. Cottney Goblin's in P14 and Lycon's in P10. Those guys making good charges here from the back of the field. Of course, taking advantage of course, avoiding all of the chaos. Because in this big train here, that was very close from Curtis to making contact with the back of the AlphaTauri. Had to be very, very careful there. Ian Ethan right behind as well. This race definitely still going to get a lot more interesting. I see Crovey and Shane here. This could be an interesting fight, Dan. Keep an eye on these two for P6 because Shane, of course, has been breaking through in the last race and the start of this one, and Crovey has shown pace right from the off here. So keep an eye on these guys that go in the main straight. I imagine one of them will emerge in the position. The question is who.
Yeah, Shane's clearly running very, very low wings today. As I said, he's absolutely monstered the straights. As we see a change for the lead between Nicholas and Imrie. Whether that was on purpose, we'll have to see. Imrie's not got a lot of VRS, whereas Nicholas has about 80%. So could we see the pole sitter fall back into the Williams? Time will tell.
Definitely. I see Lycon there going for a move on JB for P9. Couldn't quite get it done that time. Shane and Crovey still going at it. Crovey on the inside to go into turn 2. Both of them through nice and clean. I think Crovey will get DRS. He does get DRS, and he pulls in front of the Silver Arrows. Grumio now sets the fastest lap of the race on to lap number 5. 1 minute 43.4. Shane back to the inside. Oh, Crovey going into the corner. These two still side by side. Fantastic racing, and neither one of them giving in. Websy into P8 there behind him, sneaking up from slightly further down the order. And JB up there in 9th as well, looking to pick up any scraps he can. Try and get back up as well. But still, what a battle it was from those two there. And Shane, just for a second, just wouldn't give in, but had to see it in this case. But keep an eye on those two. We could be in for a great race should they catch the top 5 in front. See Grovey about 1.7 back from her teammate Slasinger. Oh, Slasinger! Off in the barriers, and Grovey's hit him. That's a virtual safety car.
Wow.
And that's wing damage for both Red Bulls there. And Slasinger, rather unfairly, gets a 5-second penalty for a collision with Grovey for some reason. And we've got a full safety car.
Wow.
Well, the Red Bulls.
Considering we had a couple retirements on track last week at Australia and nothing was pulled due to a lobby glitch, I'd imagine. Now all of a sudden, this race up in the air, and it allows drivers like BJ, like Cots, like Grumio to get back in it, have a bit of a fresh start. They might have to make some places in the first few laps, but again, we could see a few strategy changes. Those Red Bulls, I mean, it's so unlucky because Grovey's going to have to wait and double stack as we see Imri first of the leaders in the pits.
In come both the Red Bulls then. And it's like I see Crovey joining them as well. Grovey and Crovey close together on track. I was about to say close together on track. So that the R's are going to be messing on my mouth as we get further. As you say, Dan, Grovey being forced to double stack behind Slasinger here. And that will not help, of course, plus the 5-second penalty to mention as well. So unfortunate luck for both the Red Bulls here. But Grovey will be hit in particular. I dare say she'll fall to the back of the field here.
Yeah, whether she can get out in front, it's going to be close with Cots. I mean, Cots has to adhere to the Delta still, but actually Arsenal fan out behind Grovey as we see Cots now head around turn 1 and get past the both of them. So I'm not exactly sure what happened, whether you were on board and can tell me.
So what happened was, I think Slasinger missed the turn and he sort of went head on into the car section. I thought he was out of the race for a moment, but he went into it at an angle where he just broke his wing, and then of course Grovey going in, it must have been just out of sight from the straight because she came in and just had nowhere to go.
Yeah. So yeah, really unlucky for Grovey.
Oh,
it's gone straight on, and now is at last. Yeah, plenty of drivers opting to change strategy. I mean, we've got Grumio, PJ, BJ and Cots all after having to pit during the VSC. They all, or just after in BJ's case, they all stay out on their current tyres. And Curtis, actually the big winner out of that, he's gone up to P3 and Red J in P5 as well. So quite high positions from the debutantes.
And keep an eye on Connie Goblin too. He's currently the biggest gainer as it stands. He's gained 13 places. Well, Cot 5 has lost out the most. He's down 15 from his original starting spot, but Grovey down 12. So it's close between those two. I reckon we'll see charges from several cars here. Grumio back up to P7 as well. Keep an eye on that. As Connie Goblin comes into the pit lane now for his first stop of the Grand Prix. We'll see what he stops onto because he's been on hard the first 2 laps. So we could see. I imagine we'll see a different tyre going onto that Haas. I imagine it'll be the medium tyres here. Yep, onto the yellow walled medium tyre he goes. Away, a nice clean stop. As Grovey continues to catch to the back of the pack. And Cot 5 in as well. Making a change here. Let's see. He's making a change back onto medium tyres there. So Cot only made a number of stops. He's made 2 stops in this Grand Prix so far. He's the only one who's made 2 stops. I imagine, I assume he's hoping that'll be all he needs. I believe BJ will need to make another stop. I doubt he can take those mediums to the end, having to stop so early on from the hard tyres after the damage he picked up. So we've got a number of cars here who I think we may have to stop again, unfortunately. But such is the luck of the race as it hits you. But Nicholas now leads then with Landlord second, Curtis third, and Imri in fourth.
Yeah, the drivers that started on the mediums, Nicholas and Landlord, I'm kind of surprised didn't pit for the hards. Again, their tyres are going to be going off while you've got drivers like Imri and Crovey and Shane. They're fast drivers. Whether they can catch up and maybe make the newer tyres work to their advantage, I'll have to wait and see, because I don't think any of these tyres will last 20 laps around here. The rear tyres do get worn quite heavily. Well, a lot quicker than you think, or at least want as well. So we'll have to see how this race pans out. It's definitely a lot more interesting than I think it was 4 laps ago.
Yeah, that's a groovy, to be honest. One more lap behind the safety car, I think. I think we'll be waiting for a crotch jump unless we get a very late, change in decision from race control, which I doubt we will at this point. I have to see if close. I don't think he will get close enough. We'll go one more lap under the safety car here, and then we'll get back at it. And Nicholas will be looking to try and pull away on the restart. Of course, he finds himself back in the lead after just 7 laps, but he's into the pit lane now, making a change. So he may have heard you there, Dan. He may be thinking, might just make the move now. So but this will push him right away to the back of the pack here. So a big gamble to have that 1 lap fresher tyres, and now he's going to have to use them, working his way back up the order. I think he'll fall down to the back of the field.
Yeah, I called out the Ferrari strategy 2 weeks ago, and they went on to win this race. I'm going to call them out again and just say, why didn't you pit straight away? Because you've now lost 18 places. You've lost all your track position. Is that the magic lap that gets you to the end on these tyres? I mean, 18 cars in the way of you and P1, it's a lot of time you're going to lose. I think the gap is already like 15 seconds, so you have to hope that everyone else just can't make it and you're faster than everyone else when they pit as well. It's baffling decision from Ferrari there. But Nicholas makes strategies work that I mean, he's won races here for a reason. I have not, so I'll let him do the talking on the track.
Fair enough. Well, he's got plenty of time still, I'd say. He's got 18 laps still to go in this Grand Prix to make up 18th place. So a place to lap doesn't sound too difficult, if I'm completely honest with you. But regardless, Landau now leads the way. Curtis sits in 2nd place. Of course, those two yet to stop, as is Red J. Everyone else has come in to make their first stops to the race, so they can go whatever tyre they want from here. So we could be in for a very entertaining scrap, especially on this restart. I imagine that Curtis will want to try and give Landau give him a go, and Imri will want to try and get around both of us, because he can try and reclaim the race lead. Because of course, again, still looking for that major score to get himself going. 4 points from the first 3 rounds. Given the dominance of Ferrari so far, you wouldn't imagine that from Imri, but that situation he's in. But he could make that 14 if he can take these next 2 places and hold them for the next 18 laps. So here we come for the restart then. Landlord leading Curtis Imri, backing up a little bit, but then joining back up. Of course, we've seen Landlord before, Dan. Of course, he goes very late on his restarts typically, but could we see something else this time?
I don't mean to be mean to Curtis, but I don't think Landlord is looking directly at the car behind. I think he is looking at Imri and Grumio, maybe in P5 as well. I think they're more of his threats at the moment. So maybe he can catch Curtis off guard and go a bit early. There we go.
Fantastic getaway there from Landlord, who left Curtis for dead, and Imri all over him here. And Grumio gets to look on Red J now as we begin lap number 9 of this Grand Prix. We're back on the way. The green flag now back in the air as we go back towards turn 1. Grumio taking 4th place away, and almost looking at Imri for 3rd there, I dare say, going into that first corner. Red J only just rejoining in front. Behind is fellow Davidson Crovey, and Shane to the inside now as well of Red J. It's not been a good restart for the AlphaTauri. He's lost 2 places already. Grumio now into 3rd place, and Grumio looking for 2nd as well. A Williams 1-2 all of a sudden emerges and appears by turn 3. Grumio into 2nd place here. He's gained 3 places on the restart. Fantastic. And Crovey into P4 now as well. What a scrap we're in for you, ladies and gentlemen. Landlord leads away, but the action's all going on behind him as Imri and Grumio go side by side.
It's so close in this sector, and this is just going to allow Landlord to run away with it. There's a tiny bit of contact. And a bit of the wall.
Oh, and there they go. Imri off the circuit.
Gets pulled, and Imri is off. and out of this race, and another safety car.
Shane, I think I saw several penalties there. Curtis and Shane getting penalties for collision with each other. What on earth happened there?
That's such a shame. I mean, just both of them trying to fight a bit too hard, I think, not wanting to give each other a bit of room that maybe they each deserved, and Crovey coming in to make it 3 wide doesn't make it easy on either of them. I don't blame Crovey at all for that. Like, there are 2 cars going slower in front of you, of course you're going to look for a move. But I mean, it's the whole contact started earlier than Crovey going 3 wide, so yeah. Well, I don't know how many cars got damage out of that. I think Crovey might have. He was definitely pinned up against the wall, and Curtis and Shane both got penalties for contact with each other, so whether we'll see them pit, we'll have to see.
I see Crovey with an end plate loss. I see Curtis with an end plate loss. I think Shane lost his as well. I imagine he's pitting for the same reason. All 3 of them in here. There are several contenders who have done so well so far today. Already down the order. Everyone, we've got 5 different cars in the pit lane. Grumio's in. I see Crovey. I see Curtis, Shane, and PJ in as well. So those guys all making their changes. That'll move the guys back up the order a bit more. Grovey now into P13, Nicholas into P12, Cotton back into P10, and BJ back into other points. So it's not over for him either. But very unfortunate for Imbri there on a day which could have been his today. Apparently he just has not gone his way, and sometimes it's just those moments that can kill the race for a driver very quickly indeed.
And all of a sudden, last year's race winner Websy, he was only in P15 at the start. He's found himself up in P2, and Lycon as well. He's up 14 places, I believe.
And Red J in P3. Yet to pit, but P3.
Red J yet to pit, but AlphaTauri's doing well. I mean, it's a lot can go on in this race. There's actually Grumio out on the soft. Very, very interesting strategy call from the Williams there.
I mean, he's used the tyre commands he needs to, so he can do what he needs to. I'm assuming he might be banking on a safety car, but pushing on a restart like he did, because until that went down, that restart was fantastic. He made 3 places in the opening 3 corners. Got himself from 5th to 2nd on the restart. I think you were saying that Lanard should be keeping an eye on both Imri and Grumio in particular. And you're absolutely right, because both of them were going right at it behind him. Lanard got away nice and easy, but had those 2, of course, both kept it together and kept it clean with each other, then they could have been racing Lanard for the top spot.
Yeah, it was a bit of... I'm just looking at the chat, seeing if anything has been said. Not overly dramatic in the chat. Yeah, I mean, JB up in P7, looking good for Aston Martin's first points of the season as well. But Ethan in P5, looking even better for Alpine's first points of the season. So plenty of stories to follow here in the last 16 laps of this race there.
Quite a lot of drama, Dan, and we're not even halfway through yet. We've still got plenty of time for things to change even further. Crovey into the pit lane. I see Grumio back in again as well. I think he's going for those one lap on softs, and then put himself back on a set of tyres and go the rest of the race while we're still under the safety car. I see, of course, Shane and Crovey once again at the back of the pack, so we could see some continued fighting between those 2. Crovey apparently damaged his wing on the way around, so unsure if perhaps something happened where a weird glitch on the game, because of course I've said it a fair few times. Of course, with the repairing wing damage, putting it on auto doesn't always go, but he's got it this time. Grumio out the back of the pack. Crovey at the back of the pack as well. Shane is there. We've got a number of contenders again, Dan, who are now at the back, and we could see come charging back through the field. But hopefully everything that will be nice and clean for us to the end of the Grand Prix. As I say, Websy in 2nd place. That's one to keep an eye on as well, because he's made his stop. He's on the freshest tyres in the top 3. Of course, Landlord and Red J yet to pit. Everyone else has. BJ, of course, pitted very early on in the Grand Prix, but I assume he'll be looking at one more stop at around 17, 18, and perhaps going to set softs to the end. But we could see another safety car still, so all to play for in the next 15 laps. I think we've got a restart this time.
Let's hope we do. I mean, looking at this grid, it's really difficult to call a winner. I mean, you say that we're unbiased in this box. I'm going to straight up say I'm not. I'm rooting for Lycon in this race. I hope that he can do it from the back row in that Alpha Tauri. It would be great to see. Yeah, and safety car in this lap, Zach.
Lycon looking to add to his victory from Hungary back in season 14, I think, as far if my memory serves me correctly. Perhaps looking for win number 2.
Season 11 as well, I think.
Season 11? You potentially might be right, but I think I was there for that, so I'd put it down to you to remember that.
Nice Red Bull 1-2 with me in second there.
That's why I remember it. Okay, fair enough. Now you've got your own Pope Monaco sort of thing going on.
Yeah.
So clearly I can never escape from that.
Second in a 1-2.
Right, that's it. That's it. I'm never going to cook them again. I'm done with this. Alright, anyway, Landlord again leaving the cars home for dead there. What a restart from the 3-time champion as he leads away to turn 1. Websy about 7/10 back. Lycon and Red J side by side. Lycon around the outside of his teammate going into turn 1. He'll merge in P3. Cop back into P9. Fighting Arsenal fans side by side. Execs corner contact between the pair of them. And there goes both of them off the circuit. Both of them. Oh, Arsenal fan lost a wing there. A lot of bumping and banging. A lot of argy-bargy between those two. And there goes Arsenal fan away off the circuit. Wow. Not a fantastic start for the Mercedes car at all there. It's the other Mercedes looks to make some moves early on. He's got Grimio and Crow behind him. I wouldn't like to be Shane right now. Curtis and PJ side by side. Curtis up on the top there. Ethan's P4 now. And Lycon there, P3, chasing Websy for second.
Another driver that made a really good start is Nicholas. He's on 4-lap old hards and up into P9, now on the back of BJ. It's all over the back of that McLaren and he's looking to the inside. It's so tight around here. It'd be brave to make a move. There's a yellow flag.
Who is that for?
I think it was Blaze as VSD comes out. And Blaze lost a lot of times.
PJ's lost his wing. Slazenger contact with Ethan, is what I'm seeing here. I think I saw one of them go into the wall for a second, so it could be something to do with that, but neither one of them looks to have damage.
Yeah,
Slazenger has lost an end plate.
Yeah, a massive gap has opened up between Lycon and Ethan. Whether Ethan's just getting some delta time, it's a bit hard to see, but yeah, it goes from bad to worse for the Red Bulls again.
Slazenger will know I need to stop to get that repaired. Grovy's still in P11. I wouldn't say that this race is over in terms of those guys getting points, but that top 3, as you say, is really pulled away to quite an advantage here. We'll keep an eye on those guys in particular, because we've got three different manufacturers up here. Williams, Haas, and AlphaTauri. You try telling me in real life one those guys are going for a race victory, I'll shoot you in your face and tell you that you're stupid. Is what I'll tell you. Slazenger into the pit lane. They probably should make shouldn't make a analogy like that again. But we used to this. This is Zach RC stream for crying out loud. Slazenger into the pit lane here. He's got a penalty to serve first for a extra change and a few cars in front of him. He's gone on to medium tyres, this Slazenger, so we'll see how he gets on the rest of the race. Green flag now comes back out. Lycon again gets back to work chasing on Websy as Landor pulls up to 7/10 once again. Ethan about 4.6 seconds back, but alone by himself right now. JB in P5, he's got Red J behind him. Nicholas and BJ side by side again. The championship leader up in front, and Cott takes the double whammy and gets around BJ as well. So BJ out the points just like that, and we'll have to try and work her back into it. Grovey up to P10 behind them, gain a place in those pit stops. And Nicholas to the inside of Red J now, into P5, and Cott going for it as well. Very late from the Alfa Romeo, he's in there. I wouldn't be surprised if you got a warning for potential track limits there, but it looks like he's gotten away with it in terms of penalties. And BJ in P8, oh, very close to that console wall. I think Red J almost wasn't so lucky, got away with it. I dare say tempers are starting to flare here. If Grovey goes around Red J, I say tempers starting to flare. I think drivers will no doubt be starting to feel the frustration of racing this circuit for a long period of time. I've certainly felt it myself offline. Grovey up into P9, contact with the wall there for Red J, and there goes one of the cars around. Not around. I think Connie Goldie's picked up damage potential. I saw an end plate go flying off someone, but I can't quite tell who it was. It looks like it may have been Red J. I think it was Red J, yes. No end plate on the side of that race car. Oh, and he's in the wall there. He may have lost the other one too. DRS enabled. I'll keep my eye on it on the camera angle here in case just to see what's going on and has he actually had any damage. The camera angle's in the stupid helicopter one, which is no good to anyone. He's into the pit, so he's going in for his first stop now. So I imagine he'll go on mediums to the end of the race now, Dan. But yeah, a lot of chaos going on.
Yeah, up at the top, Lycan got past Websy, and this is the first lap since, I want to say lap 7 or something, since we've seen DRS. So Lycan, 8 lap old hards. Can he get past Landlord, and can he hold off the charging Nicholas, who is on a mission?
Nicholas looking for P4 here off of Ethan. Looks to get as quickly as he can. Ethan will try and keep him behind for as long as he can at this point. Nicholas holding back a little bit there. Yellow flag, and that's Crovey. Crovey out the race, out the exit of turn 2. Could that be another safety car? Nothing yet.
Look like it.
But a disappointing end to what was a very impressive debut up to that point for Crovey, who showed real pace early on this race. I think he'll be a force to be reckoned with for the points in this league in those reserve appearances. He had a fantastic race until things went apart from a couple of laps ago, of course, out of his own, or not out of his own hand, as what happened with Imri and Grumio. It looks like from what I'm seeing here, it may have been a wheel problem. It may have played in there, which is even more unfortunate because, of course, that's out of his control. But still, a fantastic race today. He can definitely be proud of, if you ask me.
Yeah, it would be such a shame if it was down to the wheel, because he clearly had the pace to challenge. As we see Nicholas get past Ethan for P4. Lycan didn't actually get the DRS to Landlord on the main straight, so quite a lot of time has been lost to the AlphaTauri to the Williams. Does have DRS here on this second shortest straight though. Nicholas is flying towards the back of these guys, and well, he might just be inevitable.
Grumio says the fastest lap of the race down those soft tyres. I'm at 42.8, so of course no point for fastest lap anymore. I see JB and Grumio both get around Cott there. I think Cott's picked up damage. I think he's lost his end plate there. He may have tapped one of the walls on exit of one of those right angle corners. Not nice, of course, driving this circuit. This circuit can be quite ruthless, and it plays in your mind. I've noticed, in particular when I've driven it myself. But that could just be me, personally. Grovey back in the points now, so Red Bull still in with a good chance of something in this race. Grovey in P7. I'll tell you what, Dan, a safety car, as much as you want to see it, will bring everyone back together again and perhaps give us a real good race to finish this off. We've still got 10 laps to go.
Yeah, Cott, he locked up a bit at turn 3 and just walloped the wall that JB and Grovey passed. I don't think he's letting this bother him too much because he's still right on the back of the Red Bull. Whether he can continue is up to him, of course. But yeah, there's so many drivers in the back, like Grumio, like Slazenger, who feel maybe slightly wrongly done throughout this race, because they've definitely had the pace to compete up at the top, but just some circumstances haven't let them do it. As actually we head into turn 1, Lycan is definitely within DRS of the lead.
Cott taking P6 there, both Grovey and JB, but Grovey back to the inside, going into the corner. Not going to try it, stays back in line, very close there. Good save from the Red Bull, but JB goes to the inside, going towards turn 2, backs out of it. We'll keep our eye here on Lycan, looking to chase down Landlord for the lead. Landlord's been relatively unchallenged since we got back on the way for the restart here, because these guys have been behind him in line, but just haven't gone for anything just yet. See Shane there. Sorry about that, do apologise. BJ was looking around behind there. Shane, of course, Shane at one place away from being back inside the points here, so unfortunately Crovey isn't there with him, because those two fought spectacularly in the opening laps, but Shane could be a place away here and trying to get back in the points. And Nicholas now 2 seconds away from the 3 leaders. Look how close he is now.
Yeah, Landlord, it's a really, really good stint on this medium tyre. Obviously, it's been helped by the safety car, but 15 laps, and obviously formation lap, is really, really strong from the Williams, but it's not helping Lycan and Websy in their race to sort of escape Nicholas, who was, just that 19th at one point.
He was, yes. He charged back to the field, and you almost questioned the tactical decision to go on to the to make the change later on in the safety car period. But it's working from here. And he could perhaps even take the lead before Lycon does. I dare say Lycon has a good chance at Landlord down this main straight here. Neither one of them going for battery just yet. Now Nicholas has got a lot less battery than everyone else as Lycon closing now, looking for the inside towards turn 1. Websy closing as well. Will he make an even further move? He won't go for it. Lycon into the lead at turn 1. Landlord will be right behind them. Websy's going back with it as well. And Nicholas, keep an eye out in DRS range now. Has got into the pit lane. I didn't think that wing damage is finally caught up with him.
Yeah, JB also side by side with Shane through turn 1 and turn 2.
Oh, Shane off the circuit.
Yeah, Shane goes straight on. It's unfortunate for the Mercedes. He's had such a good race. Again.
It's not over yet.
But yeah, this four-way battle for the lead now. It's something else.
Definitely. Of course, I see Nicholas and Lalo as the two major contenders picked to win this one, but Lycon, you never know, could pull off a shock here and take the win. He's already pulling out an advantage here. Of course, those hard tyres, I imagine, will definitely go to the end. But if his go to the end, then Websy's will, and Nicholas's definitely will. But it's just Lando we're concerned about. Slashing sets as fast as that now. Several more cars on soft tyres. Caught 5 made a stop onto them as well. PJ passing Curtis down the race for P13, and those guys slightly further back on the circuit. Lycon now out of DRS range, and he's getting away. Lycon's on the move.
That's what Lycon wants, but Lycon also would probably like Landlord to stay out a few more laps to try and hold up Nicholas for as long as he can. I don't think Ethan and Grovey will get anywhere near this pack, unfortunately, because I'd love to see a bigger battle for the lead. But yeah, I mean, a good race from Ethan, to be fair. Up in P5, first points of the season look almost inevitable as Nicholas. I think he might make a double move down this main straight.
Oh, Landlord lands into the pit lane for his first and what should be final stop of this race. So Nicholas into P3. Won't take Websy though for P2 just yet. Holds on to it. I think he's probably waiting for turn 3 so Websy can't try and get him back. Landlord no doubt will be going on to the soft tyres for his first and what should be final stop of this race.
Out of turn 1.
Oh, medium tyres. Sorry. Oh no, he's onto hards. Confusing choice there from Landlord. I question that, if I'm honest. But Nicholas into P2, as you say, Dan, and he's now looking to close on Lycon. And he is inevitable, as you say. Look at him, closing that gap. He's brought it down about half a second already.
He told me off earlier for, well, he didn't tell me off. Websy told me off for likening him to Verstappen, but, I mean, it is very Verstappen-esque what is going on here, unfortunately, for the rest of the drivers on this grid. I mean, it's something special to win the first 4 races of the season. I don't think it's happened before in RDL.
I wouldn't know, if I'm honest. I mean, obviously I've been it the whole time, but from what I've seen, I don't think I've actually seen anyone win the first 4 races. Not since 2016 in real life Formula 1 has anyone won the first 4 races. That was Nico Rosberg, who took home victory in Australia, Bahrain, China, and then in Russia. Of course, back in the day when in Azerbaijan's early days in the calendar. So of course, by now it's turned into a very thriving Grand Prix indeed, one that fans regularly enjoy. And here's another moment from here. It's Nicholas with closing on Lycon and gunning for the lead. It was P19 about 9 or 10 laps ago, and Nicholas now retakes the lead. He's got 8 laps to hold on to it. But can Lycon get him back? Landlord, I see, as it stands, quite a way off of JB, about 5 seconds back from him, as it currently stands. Everyone quite spread out now, save for those leaders. As Cop 5 sets the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 41.2. And closing on Grumio, who's also getting to work as well. With those soft tyres, I imagine Dan won't be doing too well.
No. Whether we can see Cot and BJ make it to the end, that would be, as actually Cot gets past Grumio. Whether they can make it to the end on those softs, it might be a bit of a stretch, but Landlord made his mediums work for quite a while as well. Yeah, race sort of in a bit of a quiet period at the moment. Again, everything should bunch up towards the end and we might see a bit more action.
Potentially, yes. Of course, Shane, as it stands, back there in P8, on course to add another point to his total, but I imagine that Cott will probably get him on this lap, just due to the sheer disparity in tyres. Cott's fresh softs versus Shane's worn mediums. I'll be honest, I only see one winner there, and it's not a car that's black with Mercedes logos on it.
Playing a bit of DRS chicken, heading into the last sector as well. I mean, it's a shame for Shane. Again, he's had a very, very good race, but just a couple of mistakes, especially that one trying to overtake JB. Might just cost him points in this race, unfortunately. It would have been good to see them get back to back, but it's also be good to see two teams finally get their first points on the board as well.
Well, that is probably that Cott and Grimio do not catch JB and Ethan. It could happen, you never know. A mistake from either one of those two, and they could see those points down the toilet. Grovey there in P4 right now. I mean, of course, she's also went to the back of the field and worked her way back. She's into fourth place now, so again, a very impressive drive from her in the end, provided she can finish it off. But worn mediums there, 14 laps on those. I wouldn't think she was going to pit now. But
yeah, it's very much all or nothing from Grovey. I mean, we saw Landlord do about 17 laps, so to go an extra 6 laps, it's going to be a very big stretch for Grovey.
Definitely, but of course, we've seen her do quite good things on tyres in her career so far, so anyone could put it off. It could be her, as Landlord gets back around gets back around JB there for P6, sorry, and he'll be looking to try and chase down Ethan. So Cott 5 seconds back here from JB. He'll be trying to perhaps nab one more place. Grumio is being held at bay here by Shane. He may have lost his end plate. I saw a bit of car come off that Williams there, so it could be in trouble. Not a good day for Williams, but a fantastic day for Ferrari here, as they look to, despite Emery being out of the race, they'll add 10 more points to their tally, and that will help them push on. Perhaps could Red Bull move into second place in the championship today? If I have a look at my my constructor standings on here, I believe they will. Yes, I believe with the points they're scoring right now, I think we should see Red Bull move into second place. They're 6 points back from the lead, 3 points back from Williams to begin with today, and with Grovey scoring 6 points and Landlord scoring 4. Wait, no, I am incorrect. So it looks like Williams will maintain that. Plus, I imagine if Grimio gets back into the points too, then that'll be the end of it in terms of Red Bull gaining anything. Shane into pit lane now. This will be his last stop of the race, going some soft tyres. One would imagine. BJ back into P10 now, who looking to try and close down on Grimio and Cott. He's on fresher soft tyres on both of them here. If he can find his groove in the next 6 laps, he could potentially try and nick a last minute point.
Yeah, Landlord absolutely flying up to the back of Ethan as well. Those new hard tyres proven to be very, very beneficial to the Williams. I mean, we could see a bit of a late charge for a podium, depending on how much he can catch up in this last 6 laps. It would be fun to see.
Oh, Ethan, mistake there. Very close.
Yeah, it's just about overtaking the cars at the right time for Landlord. I mean, getting caught up in this section isn't exactly what you want if you want to try and get yourself back on the podium or back into P4 where Grovey is.
We'll have to see if he can close up at the right time. Landlord can't quite go for it just yet, but if he can nail a good exit here, that, or perhaps wait to the main straight when he can play DRS chicken with Ethan. And we looks like he'll have it this time unless he goes for it now. I assume he believes he's got the pace to try and keep Ethan at bay here as he goes up the inside, going into the chicane and takes the place. Landlord down P5. He's got 5 seconds to close up to Grovey. He's trying to nick P4. And maybe from there, he's about, if I have a look at things here, he's about 8 seconds back from Websy. So he could potentially, Dan, you might be right, still have a podium. You never know. He's gained a few tenths on Grovey already. So he could be in for a bit of a showdown in the last few laps as Cott looks to take JB and Grimio 7 seconds back. With BJ 2 behind him. JB's 1 point now for Aston Martin could be in jeopardy. And so could Cott. So could Ethan, sorry, as he's now in P6. And that would be P7 should Cott get past.
Yeah, I think the tyre life of the softs on Grimio's car might just stop. Might just help JB grab that 1 point that he needs. He's finished P9 and 10. Would have got points with the old system, but with this new system, he's missed out twice. I think BJ is probably the one to look out for on those 4-lap old softs. As yeah, Landlord definitely getting closer and closer to the Red Bull and Haas in front.
And speaking of Red there, I see Red J, 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane. He's making a wing change there. The debut hasn't been fantastic for him, of course. I think a number of cars. I think it's just a number of cars whose races sort of fell apart as things went on. So unfortunate for him, but of course he also run up there on very worn tyres with his teammate in one of the safety car restarts. So he's shown flashes of pace too. I think Crovey and Red J will be two fantastic reserves to add to our already very competitive lineup. But the top of them all then is Nicholas, who leads us with 4 laps to go. He's got 4.8 seconds on Lycon, who's still holding on. But could Websy try and get him back for second place? And could Grovey close them as well? And even Landlord, who's now 2.3 seconds back. These guys all on the main straight together. Could all close up to each other. And could be in for a good race for second place.
Yeah, only 4 laps to go. And again, whether it's just too little too late for Landlord to maybe get P2 or P3, we'll have to wait and see. Again, that's where they close up. As we actually see the first 3-second time penalty of the race with Slazenger down in P16. So the first penalty for corner cuts with 4 laps to go.
Unsurprising, obviously, given it's a street circuit, a lot harder to cut corners. Actually, there are a few you can probably cut if you tried hard enough. I definitely have in my time as Landlord. Makes up to a good one to cut potentially if you're feeling a little bit silly and looking to damage your car. Going over the curbs there and ending it in your race in the wall. Landlord now 1.1 seconds back from Grovey here, so could be on for that podium. These guys are closing up to each other now. Lycon is 2 seconds in front of Websy, but he's got company. Now. Grovey and Landlord looking for that last spot on the rostrum.
Yeah, Lycon also has the most ERS out of this top 5, so he's leaving himself plenty of battery to defend from the cars behind, as the rest will start to fight. Grovey's tyres must be screaming 17 laps on these mediums. Oh, I mean, we know she puts in quite a lot of practice with the tyres, and you know, she is quite probably the best driver on the circuit when it comes to tyre wear. If anybody else has a shout, then let me know, but we now see Landlord already overtaking the Red Bull.
And could be looking very soon at Websy for P3, so that podium down, is it looking like too silly a prediction now? 3 laps to go, and he's got 2 cars to pass, both of whom are within about 2 seconds of him right now. Both in view of our cameras there, so I see no reason why he can't go through and swipe P2 back after charging. Of course, he lagged quite a way earlier on until Nicholas took the lead, and of course made the stop when he closed up, and now has fought all the way back. Perhaps if we were to give it to, say, about lap 30, do you reckon he could have caught Nicholas?
I think lap 30 is a bit too much. Oh well, actually lap 30, I think those hards would probably be gone and Landlord would be flying up. But yeah, again, bunch of what ifs. This race is only 26 laps. We only have 2.5 more laps to go. I think Landlord's gonna get past Lycon for P2 soon enough. Caught up to Grovey and Websy at both the DRS straights. Absolutely perfect for Landlord, despite not getting past Ethan straight away. So yeah, I mean, it's a very, very good drive. Very, very good last stint. I mean, you said a bit questionable on the hards, but I think P2 was probably the most that he could go, and looks like this is what he's gonna get.
I'll be honest, I think I stand corrected if I'm completely real with you, because I mean, he's proved me wrong, as I'm sure he has many times in the past in my time of commentating in this league. And he's looking now at P2, and up front Nicholas has got 2 more laps to go for taking win number 4 of 4 races in this championship, to bring his championship gap up to 14 points in the standings. Because as it stands, it'll be 18 points, but he can gain. He can gains 2 back here to move on the outside of Lycon through turn 1. He managed to get through there very nicely indeed. So now Lycon is left to fight against a very worn-tired Grovey and Websy. Caught a bit too late, won't get those late minute points today. BJ 3.4 seconds back from JB right now. I think the Aston Martin and the Alpine are both safe. 2 points and 1 point for them as it stands.
I would say that, but BJ caught up JB about 2 seconds on that last lap, so
Ooh.
I don't think it's over for that last point just yet.
Okay. Good eye on that, Daniel. We'll make sure to look out for BJ. Yeah, he's close about 6/10 in the time to say that, if I'm honest. Because I'm pretty sure he's 3.6 back. He's now 2.8. He is cooking right now. BJ is on the absolute charge. He's just to be careful. I thought I saw him lose the back end of the car through turn 4 there. So you've got to keep it nice and steady. I have no doubt he could catch JB before the start of the last lap here. There's been a catching. Grovey is now half second back from Lycon. These two, I think, will be the last ones gunning for P3. Websy now 2 seconds back and could perhaps fall prey to Koch and make a mistake. Websy's done 19 laps on those medium tires, on those hard tires, as has Lycon on his. Grovey's done 19 laps on her mediums though. She's about to take them all the way to the end here. She'll have done 21 laps on those medium tyres and reach the checkered flag should they make it. I don't want to imagine what the tyre gauge on the MFD looks like for her right now. As Nicholas comes through to start the final lap of the race, of course he's charged on 6.4 seconds to the good now in front of Landlord and Grovey right behind Lycon now. Here we go, looking for third place. Down the main straight they go towards turn 1. Grovey not quite closing enough just yet. She may have to throw it all in either into turn 3, perhaps looking for a better exit than Lycon through one of these corners, or maybe even a late charger for a photo finish to try and nab P3 on the line. And BJ in DRS range too. He's closed up. You're right, Dan. He's going for it now. BJ could give JB a hard time on this last lap and deny Aston Martin their first points.
As we see Grovey side by side with Lycon. Grovey taking that last podium position on the last lap. It doesn't matter about the number on the tyre MFD, it matters about the number in the top left, their position on track. And Grovey's up to P3 now. As, yeah, this battle for the last point is going to be coming down, I think, to the last straight.
I do like that phrase you shared, Dan. That's very nice. I'm nicking that for next week. Oh, not the best exit from JB there. BJ looking for an opportunity here, but not a lot of great passing points in this part of the circuit. So he's got to try and bide his time, perhaps prey on a mistake from JB. Nicholas is losing time. He's lost about a second or so here. What's going on with the Ferrari? He's trying to bring it home here, but he was 6.4 seconds in front. He's now 5.2. So was there a mistake we didn't see? He's got no damage. Landlord is closing now. So I don't think lap 30 would have been too unrealistic. Grovey about a second in front now of Lycon. I'd say she's got P3. Landlord safe in P2. And Nicholas comes out the last chicane and out the last right hander for the final time, charging down the main straight to claim a remarkably win number 4. Nicholas, the Street Fighter, triumphs here in Baku over the line of the Scuderia. Landlord will come over second place. It'll be Grovey home in 3rd, Lycon 4th, Websy in 5th, Cott 6th, Ethan 7th. Can JB hold off BJ in the last straight? BJ will have DRS. JB's got to give it everything here. He's got to give it all the beans to try and maintain position over BJ. He's not using the battery just yet. It's going to be very close here. BJ points to the left-hand side of the racetrack, but going towards the pit wall there. BJ nips in front and nicks the last point off JB. Ah.
Oh,
Aston Martin did not. Oh, Grimmy over the line. He didn't make it.
Oh, unbelievable.
I think he meant to crash it over the line, but went too soon and didn't even cross it in the end.
Oh wow.
Grimio will be classed as P17 as PJ goes across the line trying to show you how it's done there. I think I saw one of the Haas cars doing it successfully there. No, I'm mistaken. I think I saw someone on the main straight. I believe that was Curtis. No, it was Cott. Cott shows you how it's done. Over the line in P6, spins it after the line. Nicholas recovers from the back and wins the race. Grovey recovers from the back for P3. It's been a race of recoveries today, Dan. And it is Nicholas who again emerges on top. What a race.
Yeah, he's made me eat my words twice. I sort of expected it as soon as I said it. Yeah, 4 wins out of 4. I mean, who can stop him? Who actually can stop him?
No one yet. I mean, Lionel gave it his best shots to try and catch him. I think, again, 4 more laps, he might have just done him. Lycon takes driver of the day. He was the underdog in the race to win today. Didn't get the podium in the end. He comes home in 4th place. What a race from a number of good drivers today. We've seen a lot of fantastic talent and quite a few instances here and there. This race had a bit of everything, I think. And BJ, I see. Sorry, it's cut off there, Dan. I see him apologising in the. He's feeling sorry for JB at the moment after nabbing the last points at the closing seconds. Honestly, I thought he'd just gun it on the DRS and the ERS and just have him like about 10 seconds before the line, but he left it to the very last moment. He was right up against the pit wall there. Any closer, he would have hit it, and that could have knocked them both out. But wow, what a race! I need a drink.
Yeah, it was. Sorry, it was a lot better than last season, I have to say. As you said, recoveries. Lycan from 18th to P4, Websy gaining 10 spaces, sorry. Nicholas from 19th to 1st. I mean, yeah, even Grovey obviously with that was down in last and got a podium, and a fantastic last stint as well. I mean, I feel so bad for JB getting his point nicked off the line. It's a little bit funny though. I can take the mick out of him in the chat. Unfortunately. Yeah, great racing overall. Again, a couple of moments that maybe weren't the brightest from the drivers, but a lot better than last season.
And the game is stupid because it doesn't let me show the results. And that'll be that, right? So we'll look into post-race interviews then, and we'll see if we have anyone about for one of those. Hopefully we'll be able to get someone in. And just, I imagine we'll get Nicholas in. He loves doing these things. He loves hearing the sound of our voices. If I'm completely honest, especially mine, because just listen to me. There's a reason I've been doing this for 5 seasons so far. If I'm honest, and they haven't chucked me yet. Yeah, so I imagine we'll see him in. We'll see him in shortly. But still a great race today, Dan. I think we've already given our fair thoughts. And of course, Landlord in second and Grovey in third. Those guys give us quite a race in the end. I think we can all be very pleased with how they performed. We'll hang back for another minute or so. And we see Nicholas there in the chat. Nicholas, can you stop winning, please? Like, can you leave us alone and give us someone else to win?
No. It seems no. It seems no. Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Nicholas. I tried to ask nicely, but I just couldn't. Well, that was. I'd argue that was probably the most impressive win we've seen from you so far this season. Of course, I'd argue that the first few would just be in the right place, right time. But these last two in Australia, and especially this one today in Azerbaijan, have been fantastic to say the least. 19th to 1st. Talk us through it.
Well, of course, we had both cars in a very good position. I didn't want to risk a double pit stop to make the same mistake like we did in Jeddah. And yeah, that was the only reason I stayed out. Then, of course, I had the freshest, hardest tires. I've opted against a high downforce setup because I just feel more confident in the race to have a feeling like the car can go faster in top speed. And that's where I made the moves. I just waited patiently behind the cars, not ruining my tires. At the end, I still had 66% tires, so thank you for that game. Yeah, and it was all about trying to get into the front with minimal damage. And at the end, I made a good move on BJ that saved my race really, because he would have held me up very good. It was a very fun battle with him. And yeah, at the beginning I wasn't sure, especially in qualifying, I was quite off the pace, to be honest. I did not expect to be that far off in my second lap, but then of course in the third I tried to copy Verstappen's sector 3 in Monaco, touched some walls, and it gained me some time in sector 2 and 3. So luckily got a good lap together, start P3, and then because of a good strategy won the race.
Fair enough. Of course, I don't have to remind you again. We don't have an Inters championship. You don't need to go on the Inters for that first quality lap. Just as a word of warning.
Yeah, I know. You said it already. But for me, it's just a ritual now. I do it in every other league. It's just so you can test the setup on its limit. You have no grip. It's just the setup and the aerodynamic that you feel, and you can feel where you can push the car and where not.
Fair enough. Of course, we've got fair share of incidents around today. Of course, in particular the Imri and Grumo collision. Of course, brought the safety car. Away from the end, of course, we'll still focus on your race here. we were questioning why you took a lap or two to wait there and then pitting, losing that track position. What was the plan there? Why did you pit so late?
Well, as I said already, it's because I didn't want to ruin Imri's race, because that would have happened because you lose about 3 seconds in Azerbaijan with the double pit stop. And second, I knew my tire wear is very bad because of the low wings, so I had to stay out and hope that the Alfa Romeo did not close in after 2 laps of the safety car, and 3 laps of the safety car I was like, I'm going in. And yeah, it paid off. That's all I can say.
Fair enough. And of course, so towards the last 2 laps, of course, you did build a bit of a lead, but I noticed 2 things in particular. I noticed that Landor was sort of catching you towards the end. Did you make some kind of mistake in the last lap? Because we didn't pick that up here. Because I could have this could be me, but I could have sworn you were about 6 seconds in front at the start of the last lap, and then by second 3 you're sort of 5.2 back. So what happened there?
Yes, I had so many problems on my rear, so I've gone for, you can call it dirty, you can call it smart. I've damaged my wing on the last sector to gain a bit of understeer to have no longer the problem, because on the stream I think you can see I was drifting through the castle section in the last lap, and that was not what I wanted. Because I change the wing from the gap down if I go on hard, and I forgot it now, and that was the problem. So I had to do something. Otherwise he would have catched me. Landor was very quick.
He was, yeah. We said to each other here that I think if we went to lap 30, I feel like given how quickly he caught the cars behind you and how much fresher his tyres were than yours, I think he would have caught you there. Do you reckon that's fair?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. It would have been a battle because Landlord had way higher wings than me. So probably I could have even defended it in lap 29, but with the DRS, I'm out of ERS, he would have got me. No words. No discussion over that.
Fair enough. Dan, you got any questions for him?
Hello, Nicholas. Again,
Hello.
you're making me eat my words. I said something in the commentary, just wondering why you decided to go to the back. Obviously, you come out with another race win, 40 points in 4 races. I mean, your closest competitor, Landlord, he finished P2, but that gap's something like 14 points now.
Oh wow!
Are you just building a gap so that if somehow or if something does happen, that means you can't race, you can just breathe a little bit when you come back into or come back into the race after you miss it?
I did not understand that right now. Maybe I'm just tired. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I am also tired, so my speech is a bit everywhere. But I'm just asking. Obviously, with the gap you're building, is it easier to come if you do miss a race? You said earlier on in the season you might have to miss a race because of work. If you miss a week and then come back, is it easier to focus on the race in hand instead of the championship?
Nah, it's the same. For me now, it's the same. Though I won my first championship yesterday, and I finally have the feeling I can do it everywhere now. So I got loads of confidence, and I think the most problem is when you feel safe, you're not. I mean, 1 crash and he's 4 points only behind me, maybe even 12 points only if he wins. So it's nothing. It's just you have to be very consistent. That's how you win it. If I miss 1 week, it's gonna be on the line. If I crash once, it's gonna be on the line. It's too early. Maybe if I have a gap of 30 points or anything, it would be crazy, but really, I don't expect that with the new point system.
Can I just say, this Verstappen impression that you're doing is very good. Okay, right. Last question then. Looking into, of course, next week's race at Miami, could you win that one as well, do you reckon? Or is that something quite different? Because you mean, I don't know if we need to take this into account, because you told us this last week, Baku's not very strong for you, but you still won the race, so.
Yeah, it seems that the low wings for me work. Yesterday I had a race in Miami, I lost it to Imri, so he's very quick. I see him. Also, like in Baku, very competitive qualifying, and I hope, of course, very competitive in the race as well. And yeah, I mean, I am not gonna say anything anymore. I said it today. I was so down after I saw the quali gap between me and Imri. We practiced so much, and now this again. Yeah, it seems really good. That's all I can say. And the rest, that has to be luck. That has to be a bit of skill, and then all's gonna be well.
Fair enough. Well, hopefully it goes well for you. Why am I saying hopefully? We need a different race winner, please. Hopefully we don't see you
And
here
you
next
want
week.
a different race runner.
I'm the commentator. I need different race winners, or it's one-sided.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's kind of part of my job to hope for something else to happen or something else to win. We have quite a race today, so congratulations on the win. And yeah, perhaps we will see you next week. I'll say perhaps as if there's a chance of it won't happen.
We're gonna have the Nicholas podcast now.
Oh no, not again! I'm not doing this again. Okay, right. Well, regardless, congratulations, and yeah, perhaps we'll see you next week.
You. Absolutely.
Right, well, I think that'll be where we cap things off. I think me and Dan, me and you agreeing on our word for the race. That word being recovery. Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so that's your cue. Everyone still here watching the end of the stream, make sure to go down to the comments and type the word recovery and let us know what you think of who's going to stop Nicholas. That's what we need to know. It's like the can anyone match Vettel thing from F1 like 2012, back in those days. Anyway, end of the stream then. Hope you guys did enjoy it. Recovery is your word. From myself, goodbye. From Dan, it's goodbye, I assume, as well. And we shall see you guys next time for the Miami Grand Prix. Next time out, which will be on the 5th of February. Same place, same time. Make sure to subscribe, and goodbye.